Going to load up contacts. See, we've got the index tab along the right hand edge again. Makes it very easy to navigate through the list. Access to groups, for example favorites. These are the ones that show up in the LG widget. Call log, dial pad as well. Just place a call so you can see how it works.
The number you dialed is not a working number.
And while in the call, notice what's going on up here. I want to show you what one of the actual contacts looks like. This is one of our test contacts here. You can see we have quick access buttons for sending messages or email. Also have a history so you can see all the messages that came in from that person, and any linked photos or agendas as well. And of course, since it's a European spec device with a forward-facing camera, you have access to video calls too. Pull up the browser. This is an Android 2.2 Froyo device, but LG has promised a gingerbread release, an update. They haven't said when to expect it though. Browser's a little bit different than what you see in some other devices. Notice the dedicated controls that are always there at the bottom of the screen. A lot of people are going to like that. The problem is you can't turn them off, so for those that prefer getting the most out of the screen real estate, you really have no options here. It does work pretty nicely though, and it's good for switching between different windows. Obviously we've got multi-touch zooming controls and all that kind of stuff here. I can double tap in and out. Text reflows nicely. Works in landscape mode. So of course, as I said, we have the dedicated back button there at all times. Dual core processor with the fast memory makes a pretty easy task out of flash content. Seems to work pretty decently. Go through, show you some of the settings. Not too much different from what we see on regular Android devices. Would recommend setting flash support to on demand though. Saves up loading time and data and processor power. You can always tap on one of the plugins when you need to see an embedded video or something. Of course, we have access to the Android market for applications. This is the new version of the market. And the basically stock gallery is there as well. I say basically because you'll notice little 3D indicators on some of the photos and videos. So you can see this video was in 3D right here, while this one was shot in 1080p high res.
Honk that horn.
Good audio. It's really high quality footage. Very smooth.
You can go a little faster, Gail. I think he's okay.
Ready?
Whoa!
Of course, to get any of that 3D content or high-res video footage in there, you need to use the camera application. So you can see this is the basic look of the camera. You can switch back and forth between video and still mode. And you can also switch back and forth between 3D and 2D modes. Now when you're in 3D mode for either still photos or for video, what you see is actually 3D. So it's live 3D as it records the photos and video. When it's recording 3D video though, it only records in up to 720p resolution, whereas you can get 1080p when you're using 2D. Some of the other applications preloaded, so we've got Google Talk right here. This is Smart Share. This is LG's DLNA client, so you can share media, including 3D content, to a compatible DLNA television. Alarm clock. Here's the calendar. As I mentioned, you can pull in multiple sources of data. You can have multiple Gmail accounts, you can have an Exchange account, so you can really get your calendar data all in one nice spot here. And naturally we have different views of everything as well, different colors depending on which calendar they come from. I'm in settings because I wanted to show you have access to a number of different fonts you can use throughout the device. say we pull up Playful. Now you can see that the fonts have changed for everything, which is kind of cool. Before I show you the messaging app, I'm going to show you that the keyboard, the LG keyboard, does not have word prediction and correction enabled by default, which is kind of a bit odd. So I'm going to jump over to messaging now. You can see I had typed in TRST, it didn't correct it. I'll do it again, and this time you see the correction and it automatically know that I meant test. And I can just pick a contact here, send to a test account, and send off the message. Naturally, we have landscape keyboard as well. And we should get a reply in a second. There we go. See, there's the text message. Just tap through and you can see the threaded conversation right there. Just take a quick look through some of the other applications pre-installed. Application Manager is the task manager I showed you. So we've got Facebook for LG, Twitter for LG pre-installed, LG World as well for new applications and things. Newsreader. Remote Call allows an LG support person to take over control of your phone so they can help you set it up. Voice Recorder. YouTube client you already saw, and also have voice search as well. And then the 3D applications, I showed you some of the games and things that are available. These are things I've downloaded. You can see I've got speed test. I managed to pull down 3.5 megabits per second on AT&T's HSPA network at one point, so that's not too bad. Polaris Office is used for reading Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents from attachments from email, and of course the software update function and car home as well. So that's my look at the LG Optimus 3D. I've been really impressed with the 3D functionality. It's a real wower when it comes to showing people. You know, I was showing some family and friends yesterday, and they really loved looking at it, especially the kids. The display looks good in 2D mode. The camera works well in 2D and 3D, and the video quality is really, really nice in both regular 2D and 3D, especially the 1080p video. Device is pretty thin at 12 millimeters, but you know, really kind of heavy. 171's pretty heavy, but it is a large device thanks to that 4.3-inch display. I've noticed that the touchscreen doesn't seem as responsive as perhaps it should, and in spite of LG's claims, the tri-dual technology, dual core, dual channel, and dual memory, some of the apps still load a little bit slowly, and there's still a little bit lag from time to time. Video and games and everything like that have run very smoothly, but I still expected a little bit better out of the user interface when it came to speed, just based on the processor. In terms of the user interface enhancement that LG's put in, though, I'm very pleased. This is the way the main menu is supposed to work, unlike how the LG Revolution was. I really like it. They're subtle, useful changes. The music controls and the controls like that, and some of the new widgets are very nice, especially since you can get them in multiple sizes. So, again, that's the LG Optimus 3D. I'm Michael Orrell for MobileBurn.com. Thanks for watching.